There we go. Right, down to business. I haven't got an agenda, but I'm guessing we can rattle through through a few things. I've got an update from Emmy by email of some of the stuff that she's been involved with sponsors and stuff. Is there, Kirsten, I know if you're wanting to leave a bit early, is there anything particular that you want us to knock off early?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's just making sure that all the balls are in the air, that none of them we've caught.
Great. So shall I just give us a bit of an update on where we're at from our point of view at this end? Hoodie order went in today. So that was exciting. Got that done. We've now sold, I think we might have one spare. I think we've sold every bed space in the building. So there's 10 or 11 single supplements, so people who've upgraded to have a single room. So that means we've sold every bed. I sent a numbers update to the lodge today. They have a like a 6-week cancellation sort of policy, so these numbers are sort of help us settle the bill, if that makes sense. So I sent them a numbers list in, and it's looking really healthy. We've essentially, because we've sold every bed now, what we can now do is release some things like Friday night dinner, Saturday night dinner, packed lunches as like individual things that people the non-residential folks can buy into if they want. So that's coming this week. I emailed all the participants about a week or so ago, when we launched the Friday night workshop. So they're all up and being booked, with good interest in them. There's plenty of a good range of bookings on that. They're all getting plenty of numbers coming in, so that's great. So it feels like from a bookings point of view, it feels like we're in a really good place. There was another non-residential booking came in today. We're at that cusp now. We've said in the past that we'd go to 108 participant bookings in the building, which puts us at about 160 people, and the lodge have a capacity of 150. So the overspill is people who aren't going to come on site. That is a bit of a guess at the moment. We're just hoping, we're assuming that some things like the whitewater kayakers will go straight to the Gary, some of the sea kayak groups might go straight to the sea. So we're all looking positive on that front. We've still got more spaces on sessions that we could fill, and some that are on a bit low numbers, but I'm kind of at the point where we just live with that now, because we can shuffle things around a bit. Like pack rafting still got 5 on one day and 1 on the other, but one of my jobs will be to just try and even that out, so we end up with 3 on each day, and shuffle people around a little bit so it evens up. But generally, things
see if we want to fill these days, Lara, just as an idea, is there any young people we could say, look, we've got some spaces, come and experience? So that there was at least the spaces were getting used. Yes, we're not bringing in an income, but if we said it was for like, under 20s or something like that, just that one day, if there was some young people locally that we wanted to inspire, maybe Kinnisea High School. I don't know, I'm just thinking outside the box to make a session work. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but we did say we didn't want school kids.
I think the question is, under 18s was a whole different game, wasn't it? I think.
So maybe 18 to 20 that are maybe working at the likes of Lochmorlich or Lag and Lee's instructor development program or something, so that we're bringing people into the fold to say, look, this is on offer.
I think that's a good idea. Your likes of Lag and Leah active, What was the other one you said, Kirsten?
I'm
Morley.
thinking Lochmorliffe because it's at the bottom
Yeah.
of the road.
Lockitch as well. I've been in
Lockitch.
contact with them today.
Yeah.
Morning.
I think that's a good idea.
Mm.
Yeah.
It just means we're not throwing capacity away when somebody could have the benefit of it. And it
Yeah.
could be inspiring somebody to coach for the future for us.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
there's also something about, because going into that community, you're kind of giving back to that community as well. That there's something there, keeping those connections. I think that's always good.
Cragan's another one.
Yeah, now you know they've changed their name.
Have they? What are they
So
now?
they're really hard to find now. Cairngorm Activities, maybe?
Okay.
But yeah, they've rebranded, but yeah, they're quite.
And you reckon young? So we've this
No, I
year we've
just-
gone 16 plus. So
Well, we said we weren't going to do under 18s but they're not staying overnight. We're just giving them a day activity, aren't we? So there's
Yeah.
no local apprentice stuff going on for evenings.
Mhm.
But 18 plus would probably be good.
Mhm.
But you could always speak to, Inverness College, have they got anybody kicking around on their course? Or Lochaber that might want to come across for the day?
There's certainly plenty of options there for
Yeah,
if
without
MD
that, it
would.
might just be worth a conversation with Claire, and Claire brings some of her students over.
Mm. Mm.
And then we get a minibus in the bargain. Oh, sorry, was that today?
I like your thinking. I like your thinking.
Sorry, how did that go? In for penny, in for pound.
Absolutely.
Great. And we just do a there's no food and there's no accommodation. It's a
No,
day
it's-
activity.
Just the activity.
They need to be self-sufficient with their own kit.
Yeah.
Minus the pack raft.
Yeah.
But all of them will be able to get kit from the centre they're working at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And transport. And then what we could do is maybe we could do with getting them to book in so we know they are, and then they can book their slot onto the workshop. So we could maybe I'm always thinking about like a nominal charge, like 10 quid or something, just to
I
Get
think
like a-
if you don't, well, I'm always a fan of nominal charges, even in my world of doing stuff for people for free. But also I think you then maybe inadvertently have to have a difficult conversation with some people about, well, why are these guys here for free?
Because you weren't going to get it, because it was going to be cancelled.
It wasn't though, was it?
Well,
And I don't want to have that awkward chat when you could say, well,
but they don't know.
there was
that-
always going to be subsidized places. Because that chat, it is a chat that you can say won't come up, but yeah,
I would say
time
it's
chat does
about-
get there, and a nominal fee just suggests to folk that you are committed to something, which is really important.
Turn up as well, Beth.
What?
If you give something to somebody for free, they don't turn up.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if
that's
you put a
the
nominal
committed to
charge on
something.
it,
Yeah.
they don't like losing a nominal charge, even though it's a fiver. It's
Yeah.
funny the way that people's minds work.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you reckon, like £10 a day?
Yeah.
If we don't think we're going to sell the spaces, and we could keep these till last minute
Yeah.
and do it as a lastminute.com,
Yeah.
but head the likes of this, maybe head the likes of Nick up to the opportunity that might be there, or Claire, or or Neil. Just so that they don't staff them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a
But
great idea.
for me, it's about inspiring young volunteers in their journey.
Yeah.
And that's a completely different ethos to Activities for All, which the symposium is.
Yeah, and give back to the community, giving back as well to.
And maybe speak to Perth as well, maybe speak to Chris.
Yeah, there'll be loads of people on that outdoor end course in Perth.
Yeah, that's
girls
Chris's
that
course.
love to join.
Yeah, that's
And
Chris.
you're right. I think
course.
it's different, isn't it? If the conversation of money does come up, I don't think it.
Keep going, Savannah. You're breaking up a little bit, but go for it.
I think my Wi-Fi is not the best, but let me just try.
I think we got the gist of it. Cool. If anyone thinks of anybody else, ping it over.
North Glasgow?
Do you think they'd do the day thing?
Probably not.
Yeah.
And just again reminding them that it must be females that are turning up.
Yeah.
That actually kind of like paddling.
Yeah.
Yeah, because not given.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking for that Packcraft one. I wasn't thinking for everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like making that session work with that one person.
Mm-hmm. I think the idea of splitting it would work because the person who's booked it is quite an experienced pack rafter, so they're after a bit of a journey. But I bet there's people in the Saturday session who are experienced river paddlers who would, you know, be quite capable and competent of joining, of doing something good fun on the river. So I think we can make that work, but there's just odds and sods of spaces all over the place, you know, so kind of it does make sense to put that offer there. And if they have to book, they buy the ticket, they book onto the workshop, or when they book what things are available, and that's your lot. Good-o. So I think that's everything where we are with participants. I've started to draft the like a welcome pack information thing based on what we did last year, which I'm going to send to the lodge. I'd like to do that tomorrow, send it over to the lodge just for them to check that they're happy with everything I'm saying. And it would be good for you guys to run your eye over it as well and let me know. So I'll put a link to it in WhatsApp. There's one question, and Savannah, I don't know if you can answer this, is what the plan is with fins and leashes for the SUP. Because we didn't do the best job of that last year. It ended up being a right pain in the neck for everybody.
Can we just make a decision that if you want to do the session, you need to come with a kit? We're not providing it, because it cost folk a fortune last year to make sure they had the stuff. There's so many different boards now, many different fins. You know, if you want to do it and you commit to it, go get the fin. Now, come to us in advance and ask us for guidance on what you need so that you can go and get it. But realistically, what we're talking for a fin? 20 quid?
Yeah, they're a lot. Yeah, I guess we could have spare with us.
No, but that's just the standard. That's just your safety. You know, somebody loses one or breaks one. But honestly, it was a nightmare trying to get them back to the right people. It caused friction between the coaches because some coaches didn't look at the detail and all that. And the people that went out of their way pretty much felt like crap because of it.
I think we've previously said, and this is what I can't quite remember, I think we've previously said that there'll be some available to purchase at the weekend.
I think that's what I've seen. And that seems fair, like you can buy one.
Yeah.
But only what we've got available to buy, like what people have and have sorted out with whoever they get their stuff from.
Yeah, Savannah, do you mind? Have is there there's a wee WhatsApp group, isn't there, with just you suppers in it?
Yeah.
Do you mind putting something out just to say what are we saying to folks about their the fins and leashes, so I can put it into the information that's being sent out?
Could we put them up for sale in the SCA shop, for instance, or on our SWPS page? So we could put up the different options. People can buy what they need and they can be there if that's the case. We wouldn't expect a river paddler to come without the deck.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why we're pandering.
It's giving people an experience, isn't it, of something they might not have done before. So they probably they might not have the kit. And we've said they can borrow helmets, and that's easy. It's just it's not just like, here's a fin, like here's a helmet. It's what board have you got, and they can be fragile. Someone was broken last year, and so yeah, I think I think we just but we certainly could put them on the SCA website as part of the event as a ticket, and people buy it. I'm just not quite sure who's supplying them.
Well, we just get one person to supply them, whatever's ordered, and then they invoice the STA for what they've purchased, and then the money, then you just pay the invoice. Yeah.
Savannah, if you're okay to put that shout out amongst the team
as well, because you lose so many fins on white water as well. It's such an easy thing to do. Good if we can have somewhere we can buy fins, because I think that would be an issue.
Cool. Okay, so that's my fins.
And if people want them, like, we can have some spares. But if people lose them on the river, they can go on the website throughout the event and buy more. And you'll be able to check that, Lara, but it means we're actually getting the money for them rather than handing one out and then losing another one.
To have some sort of system. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. One of the other things I was thinking about was our coaches meeting. So at the moment I think in our last meeting we said we'd have a meeting at 9:15 on Friday night until 9:45. And I'm just thinking about whether we're better off doing that on Saturday morning, doing an 8:30 Saturday morning thing. Nothing's going to happen after that point, so it's not kind of, I think in my head what will happen is it'll happen a bit like last time, is when the coaches arrive they'll check in with some of the team, so we'll have a bit like the participants register. They'll come in and they'll say hello and they'll get their pack and have and there'll be a bit of a checklist of things that we'll chat through with folks. But then having everybody together in one space I think is a good idea. And I'm just wondering whether doing that Saturday morning and Sunday morning is a better idea than doing it on Friday night. But I don't know. I'm keen to hear what people think.
I want to go to bed by like 9:15 on Friday night, and I don't even know you, Steve. So, and I imagine there's a number of other people coaching that will be like, yeah, we're not going to be any use to you at that time of night, and we'd rather get up early.
That's still the middle of the day.
I'd be the one in bed.
Hey, the difference from this year to last year is we're all in the same building.
Yeah.
And I think that's the fundamental change, and people are going to be up for breakfast.
Yeah, it's a good point.
You know, whereas before people had to get down from their accommodation, they had to try and park. And it will just be who's not meeting at venue. It will just be who's there. What time's breakfast at?
I think it's 7 something. Hang on.
Is it 7:30?
30 till 8:30, is it?
7:30 to 8:15.
Okay, well, that would mean like a 7:30, 8:15, finish a coffee for 8:30, fill another one. But that would leave the tables free in the dining room. That we don't actually really need to move from there, and we can all get a coffee if people are just coming in for the day and not staying.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So we'll go for the morning meets, and we'll do it both days, so it gives us a chance to. We might not have much to say on Sunday, but that's fine. But it just gives us
always worth a catch up, just in case there's something popped up.
Yeah. Good-o. That's that one. One of the things that I need to do, so we'll send out the welcome information, and one of the things in there talks about we need to ask for where are they at with their personal paddling things at the moment. So that that experience, that check-in. Now sometimes that's to, like SUP, for example, I think there's 3 river-based sessions. There's the whitewater progression, there's the slow moving rivers, and then there's another one, I think. So if you ended up with a beginner in the more advanced group, we can do a bit of shuffling around. Some groups like whitewater kayak have got 2 groups within the same workshop title. So again, trying to split them so that they're in sensible groupings together. And it's that, how do we ask the question so that we get the best information back from people? And I remember, Beth, you said something before, and I think it was about something quite specific about their last few times.
I'm just finding it. I think this was off one of our November chats.
Okay.
After my favourite week of the year. So I'll find the profiling questions we sent.
Great.
And copy them for you in a sec. But yeah, it was about just being super specific. And that thing of, if we ask vague questions, then people will give us vague answers.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, what was, like, when, where, who with were your last 3 trips or whatever? Because if someone says, oh, I paddle like grade 2, 3, and then tell us that their version of that is like, well, I got on at Comrie Bridge and went to Aberfeldy, where there is precisely 300 meters of grade 2. And that was plenty enough. That's very different to, like, I'm doing laps of the Perthshire Garry when it's on like 1.1. But they could both fit in the 2, 3 kind of cycle.
And I think it's about where's your confidence as well, because they may have.
Yeah, I think one of the questions in it,
but not the confidence
about that
to be there. And that's something that I would say has come up within probably the canoe development group. That, you know, they have the competency but not the confidence to be able to do it. And yeah,
I think that's in one of these. I think we asked, it was a kayak group that this was for, but I think we basically said, can you roll? And would you be happy to have to roll this weekend? Which gave us some really good answers of, well, I can, sort of ish. It sort of wheedled out though as well. Yeah, but also I really don't want to, because I might not. It's just something along those lines.
And if you have a roller and it fails, are you happy to swim?
Yeah, it kind of was that. It was sort of something along those lines. But I'll do some searching through my thing and see and find the actual questions that we have.
And it could be that we could have drop down statements with another box. So they could put something else, but we would have competency statements that we've measured. I feel confident on grade 2. I mainly feel confident, but I'm slightly nervous. No, I'm not confident at all in this grade, but I would like to develop this confidence. And actually other, yeah, smash it. So you're guiding them into what you're looking for, but given the opportunity to answer.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's saying to me Google form, because we can do.
Yeah, and it's
Laura, I think I've got this in a. I think I've got this as a Google form. So when
Okay.
I find it, so I just send you it.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to? In fact, I can just re-edit it if you want and make it into something that I think will fit.
Great.
And
That'd
send
be
it you
great.
in the morning.
Yeah, that'd be winner.
It's probably easier. Sweet.
that sounds a plan.
Great.
I shall do that.
Great. And then my last thing on my agenda, no, it's not. It's not the last thing. It's on the agenda. Is we've talked about a film night. I wondered if somebody wanted to take the lead on that and look after getting the films, deciding what we're watching, looking after it on the night. Saturday night was the session. Now Claire Scott's done a film night for SUP stuff up in Inverness.
Yeah.
So she'd be a really good place to start to get some.
I'm meeting her next week to go over some she paddle stuff.
Great.
I don't mind asking her then. Good. Asking for some tips, and I'll take charge of that if that's
Great.
I suppose the balance is getting, because we've got so many different disciplines, what do we get? You know, and it's like whether you put something on in different rooms that allows something for each audience, or if we've just got one captivating inspirational thing, a bit like the Banff Film Festival, you know, like one of their clip, you know, a clip off the something similar to that.
I think Emmy and I chatted about this and we're swithering towards a couple of short ones and maybe a long one, or
Just
longer
something of
in terms of
everything.
like outdoor film, like, you know, it's like 20 minutes because amongst what we could get and just have it on and running.
Yeah.
I think was what we went for, because
And do you think in the bar, in the Saturday night, so there's the classroom which backs onto the bar, so you could have it there, so it's quite easy to dip in and dip out, or we go lecture theatre, which is a bit more, it's bigger, it's a bit more removed, which might be a good thing. We can always announce as well, so if it's a you know, next up is, if you're interested in, come down to the lecture theatre or whatever.
There is something that says the bar is quite good too.
Or you could maybe have shorts in the bar, and then the longer film in the lecture theatre.
I get some information of Claire and what she showed at her, and I'll feed it back to you, and then you can tell me what you think. If I need to searching.
Yeah, lovely. And I think the other thing, it's just been trying to get like some river stuff, some whitewater like kayaking, sea kayaking, a mix of disciplines. So it's not, because Claire will come, what Claire will share is the SUP stuff, which is great. She could probably tell you which ones went down really well as well, so that'd be a good shout.
And there's some of all the old stuff that's pretty good as well, and it's comical, you know, like Dr. Throwline. You know exactly what I'm on about. Just that total comedy factor.
And even some of the films, you know, like thinking of sea kayaking from Justine, obviously you know, there's a good one on the Falls of Laura. there's relatively short films, or the longer film, but that's about an hour and a half, isn't it? Sarah Ooten and Justine around the Aleutian Islands, which is a beautiful film.
Right.
Where they encounter a bear and all sorts while they're naked. It was quite a funny film. If you've not
I
seen
think one thing that Claire learned was that if we have open access on YouTube, then that gets away from the whole licensing type of thing. I think we'd probably get away with it anyway because we're not charging for it specifically.
we could always ask permissions as well, just to see.
Is it worth trying to get? It's maybe probably worth an ask, but just out of kindness. But we could probably get away with it. You know, Cal Major's one that's just come out.
No,
yeah.
Is it worth getting that?
Yeah, that's great. That I just watched
I
that.
haven't watched it yet, and I've also not yet paid for it, so I think we can probably just get away with it if I just don't watch it until then.
Yeah, something like that.
It might be worth. I might ping a wee message and ask out of politeness.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's what the lodge's public entertainment license is.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the questions, isn't it?
Do you think we need one? Do you think they need one?
They probably have one.
I imagine they'd have one.
I would have thought so.
Yeah. It's just covering that base. I know that we had one when I was at Glenarcurt. Yeah, I definitely like the idea of, because otherwise the bar can be quite quiet and got no feeling in it. Whereas if there was something on in there that people could just, you're not really paying attention, but there's something on in the background, you know, that might be quite nice. And then the lecture theatre for something bigger.
Is that just making like effectively a YouTube playlist for the bar?
Yeah.
Of short stuff that kind of runs.
Great.
And on the other side of that, thinking about after that finishes, have we got music for in the bar? Or if the bar got a music playlist that they put on, because it can sometimes be a bit like, you know, like it's all quiet, nothing in the background.
150 women in the bar together, do you think?
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
never been quiet. Okay.
No, you're right. You're right. I'll eat my words on that one. No, I think it's good to think about it, Kirsten. Sorry.
75% of them will be in bed by 9:30, seemingly.
Yeah.
There'll only be Tracy and I and Anne holding up the bar.
Yeah.
Well,
And
we're
you
not
guys
wrong
won't be
there, Anne, are
quiet.
we?
No, we're not wrong at all there, Kristen.
What was it, 1, 2 o'clock?
I think so.
You could always ask everyone to nominate a song and then pull a song list together with everyone's sort of favourite song or something like that. But I know that's a lot of work.
It's time, isn't it? It's time and
Yeah.
work.
And I don't know if anyone's got that inclination to do it.
I reckon the
No.
lodge has probably got something that they put on,
Yeah.
but it's maybe a question.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. So can everybody can you all research that YouTube stuff and send some of your links? That'd be great. And then that means you can start building a list up, Savannah, and
Yeah.
great. Winner. Right, update from Emmy. Let me find the email. So latest on sponsors and so on. You might have seen Sea Kayak Oban are sponsoring the participants' hoodies. So that's really cool. They're paying about 75% of the bill. Need to double check that now we've got final numbers, but so that's good. They're getting a logo on the sleeve here. So that we're delighted about that one. Peak UK they're coming up for the weekend, bringing loads of kit. They've also asked if they can do a talk, so we put them in at 5:30 on Saturday to do they're doing a whole thing about the environmental, the work they've done on sustainability and fabrics and design and stuff. But yeah, so they're up, lots of raffle prizes and demo kit. That's Pete who's coming, the boss man's coming. So that's cool. Palm have just confirmed today that they're going to come and want to have a presence with kit. They haven't said really. I've just sort of said I think I got a sense of really quick email reply and yes, we're coming. So we just need to pin that one down. But they've also indicated they're interested in sponsoring a coach. So we put this, when we did the email out to all the sponsors, we put that as an option where they could pay the food and accommodation bill and all the transport bill, and their wages for the weekend, which comes to about 500 quid. So they've obviously got somebody in mind for that, but that'd be amazing. And that's a nice, good promo piece for them to be able to celebrate. British Canoeing have given us a whole bunch of She Paddles branded tote bags for everybody and a bunch of stickers. A note from Emmy that we should be using the hashtag She Paddles in all of our promo and stuff. So that's a good shout. Lots of prizes coming in. Emmy's asking that if we can get them all to Tracy or Emmy as soon as possible, so that they can log them. There was quite a lot of work last year in terms of listing what we've got, who we've got it from, and making sure we do the thank yous and all that stuff. So Emmy's given me her address, but I'm guessing if people are who here's got stuff to bring. Ruth, you do.
I've got stuff. I'll just deliver it next week.
So I can. Sorry.
Ruth,
Sorry,
I'll
Ben.
be down in Aviemore probably next week or something like that. If you want to drop it into me, I can always drop it at Tracy's because I'm dropping some boats off for CBC.
Great.
Yeah, well, I'm going through on Thursday, so I'm happy to drop those things off.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Great. And you can drop them with me as well if that helps. So any one of us, just message on WhatsApp to get them through. So Savannah, have you got anything?
No, I've been getting stuff from Fanatic, Board Silly, and a few other things, but I've just been getting them sent straight to Emmy's house.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Just from those to make it easier.
Yeah, nice one. Great. Winner?
Folks, Pesda have said to just pick 3 things from their catalogue. I am a serial guidebook, just book avoider. So if you like books, could you pick some from Pesda's catalogue?
Let's write some good sea kayaking guidebooks.
Yeah, Emmy says
Yeah.
sea kayaking and whitewater. I mean, I know there's one good sea kayaking one.
At least.
But yeah, first 3 suggestions I'll ask them for. So just...
Maybe if we have the whitewater guide,
Yeah.
a SUP touring guide or something like that. And
We've got tons of SUP stuff. So Emmy's like, can we get some sea kayak or whitewater kayak?
This
Or
one,
whitewater, because SUP guys are well catered for.
yeah.
What's that, Savannah, you've got there?
this is a
Blue
good,
Scotland.
There
Who
you go.
wrote that?
it's Molly Hughes.
Ah,
And it's a woman as well, and she does sea kayaking, it's wild swimming, surfing, supping, whitewater kayak, just sea kayaking, I think. But it's great.
And it pestas.
It's got to be Pesda for that, I'm afraid. You can just ping it in the chat whenever folk have got ideas, and I'll do that tomorrow.
Since we've got Pam and Peak there, are any of them thinking about doing a consultation on women's sizes? Because their clothing is so unrealistic.
Wasn't that one of Peak's things that they were super keen to do?
I thought Lara was involved in a Pam group, were you not, for a while?
I was, yeah. It's
And
when they were designing a new bit of kit, and they were they got a little working group together, which was quite cool.
They're actually worse. Like, I just wouldn't entertain trying to buy a lady's Pam top.
Yeah, we can ask.
It just seems you've got such a captive audience.
Yeah.
And probably a mixture of ages and sizes.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, putting the hoodie order in today. The general participants, I mean, there's not a huge amount of orders, there's 23, but there's I think 7 medium, 7 large, and then a couple of XL and double XL. And then
they're never, yeah.
you look at the coach's order, and there's smalls and extra smalls in there, and less of the XL and double XL. So that was interesting.
And as a Pam, if you bought Pam, their 16 wouldn't fit me.
Yeah.
Like, I think Claire Aldrich ordered their 16, just to put it into context.
Yeah, she's tiny.
Yes.
I just gave my a biking jacket that was a women's double XL, and I gave it to Doug's sister, who's a 12.
Endura by any chance?
Yes.
Yes.
I said, "Do you want this?" It's like it's too small on my wrists. Like it's too small everywhere. And Claire tried it on, and she was like, "That's a perfect fit, thank you." Double XL.
Jesus.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, I'm going to write that down. Peak and Lomo as well. So Lomo are coming.
Yeah. And I don't think, is Alpkit thinking about, I know they're not paddling, but they've just opened the shop in Inverness that they might want a presence for all, for their swimwear.
Yeah, we haven't asked them.
And the
Just
camping
thinking
gear
people opening at
as
the
well.
ledge.
Wild camping.
Yeah, wild camping, you're absolutely right.
Mm.
Do you want me to ask Alpkit, because I'm speaking to them on Thursday anyway.
Brilliant.
Sounds a
So I'm
plan.
gonna chat to those guys.
And I think if we had like a marketplace on a Saturday, on the Friday and Saturday in the evenings, that I think people would buy kit
Yeah.
Mhm.
if they had stock.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's kind of like what the coaching conference was like 10-15 years ago. You used to go and there would be a marketplace in the hallway.
Mm.
I think that's a good idea. I think, stuff will definitely get sold because you'll be in that headspace of, having a good time, excited about water and stuff. So
It's like, that kneeling mat looks great from a canoe.
yeah.
From a really practical perspective from that then, given the patchiness of things like Wi-Fi and signal at the lodge,
It's better.
we should probably warn all these people that if they all try and connect all their card machines at the same time, they might be sad with all the people on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's true. It is a lot better.
It is better. Yeah, I'll go for better.
But 150 people, and we're
Oh,
streaming. Yeah, we're streaming YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Can the lodge in any way give them a hard connection with a long cable, or have it set up at the office?
I don't know, I guess there's just something practical to think of there,
Yeah,
because that'd be quite annoying for a lot of people.
PayPal or something, or I suppose you need internet for.
It's the internet game, isn't it?
Which reminds
It
me
is
of
better.
a completely random thing that's just popped into my mind that I read earlier on from the work side of things. Apparently they're going to be testing an emergency signal on the mobile phones on the Sunday about 3 o'clock.
Oh, is that right? Is that when it is?
Yeah. So apparently it'll only last for something like 10 seconds, but it might be worthwhile telling people about it when the time comes, in case they do actually hear it, assuming they work. It just seems to be something that's come out recently.
Yeah, government.
Yeah, you two can recognise the signal for, oh my God, it's going to flood, or avalanche, or landslide, or whatever. The Russians are coming.
that's better than the Martians, or is it? War of the Worlds.
If you start hearing Jeff Wayne, start to panic. I'm showing my age now, you youngsters won't have heard of Jeff Wayne.
Surely they've been to the show.
Okay, next thing from Emmy. Big raffle prize. We have a sup package from Gladiator paddleboards for grabs.
Ooh.
Demo on the weekend as well. That's cool. Social media. So Emmy's been doing obviously loads of work on getting some great social media posts out. So she was just keen on thoughts on tone of those, the reach, is the content okay? Is there anything that we need to do more of? I thought it's just been really nice. I really like the way that Emmy's written them and put them together. Lots of good shout outs for sponsors, which is nice.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. It was. I've even remembered to share some of them.
That's good. Yeah, we need to, like, the more that we can all interact with them helps them get the reach. And the only thing I was mulling over a little bit was we've now got the Facebook group, which is just for participants, and we've got the page, so it's remembering to make sure that we're posting on both of those places. So
is there a way that you can mirror your posts?
You can certainly share them, and Emmy's been doing that, I think. Yeah, sharing them to the group.
Are we on the weekend going to give the instructors admin rights to be able to post the photos on it, or are they just going to come into you and you're going to post them?
What did we do last time?
I can't remember. I think we sent them to Lara.
Yeah, everyone sent them to me, which I thought was brilliant.
Let's go that way again then.
But I think on the group, anyone can post on the group. So there's a lot of that happening last year.
Yeah.
But that's only for them as participants. So the other question is, do we just on the page, do we just change it so anyone can post? So at the moment,
that period
on that page, just for
No,
those.
because you'll lose, unless someone's going to moderate it, you'll potentially lose like all control over what's on there. And if you've got folk that don't have photo permission, that'll be in there.
Yeah, so photo permission, we've made a bit of a hash of it in the information, in that the question's not very well worded. So we've got about 50% of people saying yes and 50% saying no. And I'm sure half of them don't understand the question because of how it's written. So what I've said in the welcome info is that we'll check it at registration, and people need to let us know at that point, and they need to let their coach know. So that within the groups there can be a little bit of and I'll put a bit of chat about how important it is that we share lots of photos and so I think last year we had sorry,
in it, just to have the it's really important to share, but be mindful that not everybody may want.
Yeah, great. So we can well, I wonder if everyone can post to the group, then the other thing is admin can share that to the page.
Yeah,
that works.
I think that works. I guess it's that sense of folk wanting to know where their stuff is going, isn't it? And the group, there's an element of control over that for folks and people at all. It's only the people here. Because the page is obviously public. I think free for all on the group, like fill your boots.
Yeah.
And then someone from admin sharing it onto the page gives a sense of it being slightly moderated and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Probably the way to do it.
We could certainly give permissions to some people, trusted folk in and around, like Tanya Mackey's going to be kicking around over the Saturday, Sunday, and she's keen with her camera. So
yeah,
we could give Tanya the, get out. So Claire Scott's another professional photographer. So you could sort of, we could add a couple of them into admin.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Cool. Great. Where did Emmy's email go?
Oh, Emmy just replied, Jess and I are bringing a load of both sups and leashes, and I've got a bunch for sale. That's regards to the quick release. And
So
Do you want to ask her if she wants them put up for sale on the SCA website?
Bless you.
Oh, yeah.
cool.
great. And then so the next one from Emmy is display boards. So she's busy creating some display boards for the event to go in corridors and that sort of thing. One for environmental awareness, leaving a trace, big paddle cleanup stuff. Another for groups and paddle clubs where to access info, including the Cairngorm Paddling with Pride that Julie and Nikki have been involved with. So Julie's helping with that one. And just said that she can put some links to a quality group and environmental group into those as well. So that's cool. And then signage painting has started. I think Savannah, you're helping with that as well. Are you doing a bit of directions type signs? And signs for meeting places for the morning groups as well. So that's cool. And that's it for Emmy. That's it from me. Is there anything else from anybody else, do we think? I guess next meeting is a pretty critical one. It feels good tonight. It feels like we're getting into the nitty-gritty of it, doesn't it?
How are we for minibuses?
Good question. Don't know.
Okay.
We've asked all the coaches, and I've not collated that information yet. So we've asked, are you happy to drive? Have you got the right licenses? Can you bring a bus? The Lodge have sent us their information on what buses they have. And I saw Tracy at the end of last week, and she was saying there's still a bit of uncertainty in the Lodge in terms of buses that don't have tacos in them and whether they're allowed out of where they're allowed to go. So if there's no taco, they can go down to the Old Bridge Inn. But if they haven't got a taco,
I think you asked who had tachograph cards though, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. But the problem is that some of the Lodge buses don't have tacos in them, and the Lodge aren't sure if we're allowed to tow trailers with them further to the end of the road, sort of thing.
That's mental.
Yeah.
So I don't drive with a tachograph, and I work under a section 19 pass.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
I'm sure the Lodge do as well because of their education.
I don't know if they do. But anyway.
Because they're not profit and reward. Because they're a charity, aren't they?
Sports Scotland Trust, isn't it? Fun. Anyway, that's out of our hands, really. That's the Lodge. It's the Lodge's things. But I mean, it to me, they've only got 7 or 8 buses anyway. So, and if we end up with a couple of them doing shuttles in and around and about locally because they've not got tacos on them, then, you know, we have a Loch Morlock bus and that goes up and down. Yeah, so we'll just, the information is coming together, and we'll know what we've got. And I'd also, in the email that you'll have all seen in the email, I'd got a rough guess on where people were going, and it was quite vague. It was either local lochs and lakes, lochs and rivers, Murray Coast, or further afield. So some of the river stuff is likely to be going further afield. And that was really just to start thinking about, like, the people who are local is trying to spread them out a little bit in terms of not everybody's going to the same stretch of river or the same loch, or, you know, some might go to Loch Morlock and some Patuish and some Loch Inch. So just getting a handle on that. Nearer the time, we'll pin down we'll share the information with the coaches in terms of who they've got in their group, which will enable them to start pinning down a bit further where they're likely to want to go. And then we can start allocating buses. I saw briefly that Alice McInnes is coming with a bus, and boats and trailer, so she's
Of course,
yeah, she's sorted. I'll have a quick look at the form. Subscription royalties, responses. Right. So there's 30 of the 50 who can drive a bus. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 maybes who can bring a bus. Kirsten's the only yes, she can definitely bring a bus.
And I've said that Mags and Rachel also can drive my buses.
Okay.
Because they're already set up to drive my buses.
Could Mags bring one of your buses?
I'm sure she could.
Because that would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I've got 4 sitting there. I've got 4 and a panel van. But you can get back to me, like, at another point, and just then we can book stuff out in the calendar.
Well, if you're happy to just book them out, I'd book 2 out, 1 for you and 1 for Mags.
Right, okay. And then we just need to cover the cost of the fuel in them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then just do a little bit that, you know, for the support with them.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to jump off and jump on the raft.
Yeah.
At a meeting.
Great.
Is there anything else that you need from me?
No, I don't think so. I think we're almost there, aren't we?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant.
Cool.
Nice. Thanks, Kirsten.
If there's anything else, just give me a shout.
Yeah. Lovely.
Okay, catch you later. Thanks very much.
enjoy your meeting.
Oh, it's okay. Jim's face is out to here, so he'll probably not be able to speak much. Short meeting. Bye.
Bye.
So let's put a date in for our next meeting, shall we? Have we got one? Let's start with that.
I just thought we had put some out, but maybe not.
Yeah, I thought we did have one. I just wanted to feedback just briefly. I think I know, oh man, Leslie had been in touch with you as well as myself, but I just got a wee update with regards to that. But
Great.
Get this date first. I thought we did have a date.
There's nothing in my diary.
No.
I haven't got.
And I've not got my phone here. Hang on.
Oh no, I have 1st of May.
So that's bank holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we put that in before we realised that was a bank holiday.
Oh, actually, is it?
They're kind of all bank holidays
Yeah.
before that in May now. Unless you want to do like the Monday before. Stupid May.
I'm good that week. I mean, I could do another. The Tuesday's a bit difficult. I've got to get the camper van to Inverness to the garage on the Tuesday and pick it up. So that's not the best, but we could shift it to the Wednesday if that's better for folks.
What date was this? Sorry.
It's the week of the 1st of May. So we've currently got the date in our diary for May the 1st, which is that bank holiday.
Oh. Yeah.
Not certain about the Wednesday for myself. I might be training. We haven't discussed who's doing what, so it might be me training that day. It might be one of my colleagues.
Does the Monday work for folks? Is there anyone who doesn't work for?
What time was the meeting? Sorry.
It's in the diary for 7:30.
I wouldn't be able to do it because I'm teaching. I have a climbing teaching class that goes on a little bit later, but feel free to just, I can watch it and catch up. So don't.
Yeah, because I'd probably be driving back from the Midwest Symposium.
On the Monday.
Yeah.
What about the Thursday? Does that suit better?
Good for me.
I'm a guinea pig for Glenmore, but I'm sure there'll be reception out west.
I can't
Possibly, yeah.
at all.
Is that a no for you, Beth?
Yeah, definite no for me.
No, okay.
12 S3s on a wild camp. I mean, what could go wrong?
Enjoyed it.
It's not even DV, so I can't even ignore them. Like, I'll actually have to talk to them.
What about the week before?
Mm-hmm.
Were we not doing Tuesdays before?
We have done, yeah. I think it's just hit and miss who you can manage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do any evening that week. I'd rather not do Thursday or Friday, but yeah, I'm on days off those days, but
Yes, at this point in time, I can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, I can't do the Wednesday because it's the last on water for Wild. So that'll be out west. I'll be travelling back, but any other day should be fine.
Tuesday the 25th.
Yeah, that's fine.
Should be
Yeah.
okay.
Can we make it 7:30?
2 weeks away.
Or is that a pain? Oh no, wait, is that done? Could we do Monday? Just realised it stacks the evening otherwise. I can probably do Tuesday. It's just a bit stacked.
24th is fine. Probably suit me better because I won't be travelling over out west.
Yeah.
What
Monday.
suits?
Monday the 24th is fine for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine for me as well.
Yeah.
Great. Just stick them. Monday, 24th of April, 1930. Next meeting. Just put that in WhatsApp. Great. And then Ruth, did you have an update from Leslie?
Yes, obviously she'd been in contact with yourself because just a bit anxious about venues. But in her email to me, she'd suggested Lochinch.
Uh-huh.
I think I don't know whether she's actually done training there, but she's certainly been there before. So I contacted them today, and Johnny had got back to say, no, that'd be really great.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so I was just going to chase that up. Because I just basically asked if, to launch, and, if there's a bit of shelter. So he was offering potentially a classroom, but it's more to do land-based exercises outside. So I'll get back in touch with him. But that makes a lot of sense. It's better parking, and people can get hot drinks. Obviously, if they've got packed lunches, they might not want to eat there, but there's toilets and everything. So yeah.
Is he going to charge for that?
Well, I made it. I did reflect on that and thought, I wonder. But how I'd worded it was permission rather than asking. So I will clarify that. But I did put a little bit of blurb. Oh, I used to be a nurse in Badenoch and Strathspey, and kids used to come here. And I know Charlie. We used to race huskies together. So
Right.
a bit thick on. But because obviously it's we don't want that.
Yeah, I was thinking about, so I'm glad you've said that, because I was thinking about maybe approaching Lochinch to say, could one of our groups launch and land from the centre, because just to try and spread everybody out over the location, so we're not all, there's about 8 groups who are going to could be at Lochmorlock, but you want to ping out. So if that means that that's Leslie working there with, that helps massively. And if she's happy with, like you say, you've got a warm cafe on site, and the beach, I'm guessing it's quite a good place for teaching rolling off the beach.
Yeah, it's what I remember. It's years ago since I've been, but even on the grass, doing some exercises. So I'll go down and meet with him and see what the score is. But hopefully that.
And if what would be really nice is if we can do some promo for the support from Lochinch.
Yes, I did mention that in my email, actually. Made the assumption. I also said as well, as much as possible, because are we full on both of those days for the rolling? Was there a place still left, or is it 6 for each day?
I think Leslie was on 4. Oh, that reminds me, actually.
Or was it 4? There you go.
Somebody is desperate to be an assistant with the Greenland rolling, and I've said we've already got one, but I'd ask Leslie how she'd feel about having 2 assistants.
More the merrier.
Well, that's what I thought with teaching rolling. Will you just double check that with her for me?
And who is it? Is it Lorna?
It might be
Lorna Dixon.
Lorna Jarvie.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. No, there's a few Lornas. I've just put in Lorna. Leslie. It's one of those millions of emails in my
I can imagine. But if I double check with her to just say, I think that'd be fine, but 2 assistants, that'd be fab.
Lorna Jarvie.
Okay. Oh, don't know. Okay. That's fine. What I did say to Lochinch as well, if it's possible, we can always double up on vehicles to minimise the spaces that we would take up, because obviously they will be busy at that time of year, because it's not quite Whitsun. It is Whitsun, actually, just going into Whitsun, isn't it, for the English holidays?
Let me just tell you about Lorna. She's secured funding for myself and another club coach wanting to bring to life something called the Gentle Paddling Project, which is about getting back into paddling after having kids, gentle technique focus sessions, blah blah blah. So I can forward that on to let me just forward it on to, I'm going to forward it on to Leslie Mackey and Ruth, and just say, and it's going to be really short. Could you cope with extra? There you go.
Brilliant, thank you.
Leslie will go, why is that a bit short and sweet?
I can explain.
Lovely. That's great.
Brilliant.
And you're asking about numbers. Oh, just went to the wrong thing. We see Greenland rolling. Saturday, Sunday's full.
So that's 4.
Where's it gone? Saturday. Saturday's full.
Oh, brilliant.
And yeah, and she's got 4.
Brilliant. Okay. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Well, I'll get back to Johnny and I've offered to, well, for Leslie and I to have a chat before maybe I'll go and see Johnny and then after that, just
Great.
particular things she wants to be clear about there.
Just so you're aware, there is a bit of history between the SCA and Lockinch. It predates
Oh, is there?
me. It
Yeah.
predates me, and it's probably Dad.
Yes.
Era. So I guess just if you get any of that vibe, you know, just that we're well beyond, you know, that's all in the past, and we're how, you know, we'd like to, you know, if they're keen to be part, if they're keen to support the event, and we'd like to promote and support them as much as we can, you know. So, but hopefully that won't rear its head. I don't know what it was about or anything, you know. It's
He was a bit of a character, wasn't he? Bless him.
Great. Is there anything else from anybody else?
Oh, did you get anyone to any assistant for, did you have a disability session?
Yeah, no, we haven't.
I've got someone in mind. I'll speak to them. Have you got any more information about it?
Wheelchair user with spinal cord damage from an infection, I think, but many years ago. Was a Paralympic athlete, or maybe not Olympic, but British, I think, water ski. So very water confident.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, that's
Water
quite
skiing.
cool. Yeah, very water confident and very self-aware of physicality and
yeah, just that athlete background of,
yeah,
I get my body.
Yeah. So that's cool. And then Maddie's working with her. So Maddie's our para coach.
Yeah.
So Maddie's going to be working with her. Who are you thinking of, Beth?
We have someone that we found in Perthshire. So I don't know if you have come across Graham Doig, I don't think, because he doesn't quite get up your way. So he runs Highland Perthshire Disability Sport, which is incredible. Basically, he's had, I think it's ridiculous. I think by the end of the year, he'll have had 17 different sports running 6-week taster courses for people with disabilities across Perthshire. It's pretty incredible. He's done an amazing job. But I was chatting to him about some climbing, and he has someone, I think maybe they're a UHI ecology person.
Okay.
Who came to him actually having done paddleability,
right?
I think.
Yeah.
And was asking if there's anything that she could get involved with.
Oh wow.
So I've got that information buried somewhere in an email in the emails that I'm not checking, but I'll check that one.
Okay.
And send it her if that's, if you didn't find anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'd be available, but certainly would be someone with a genuine keenness to be doing that sort of thing. Yeah,
I was kind of hoping, because we're at the point of being we're at the point of being full, so there might be a bed. I haven't quite done the final numbers on all the coaches and looked at that against the participants in terms of bed spaces, but I'm pretty sure with full, so the ideal was that we bring it in from the existing team. But equally what you
I'll
say,
do it.
she sounds like somebody really good. You're busy. She sounds like somebody who'd be really good to support as well.
Yeah, and actually on that, I did my form and then was like, to be fair, I really don't need a bed. If you need the bed space, it is pure laziness that I don't want to drive like 5 miles down the road to various other beds. So if you need the bed, like, you just bin me out of it. I really don't need it.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll message Graham.
Yeah.
I'll find that in my email and try and pull those things together.
Put the feelers out and pass on my details and get her to get in
Yeah.
touch. If she's free and keen and great.
Mhm.
Cool.
Look at that.
Is there anything else from anyone else?
Can't think of anything.
Good. Let's call it a night, eh? Brilliant. Nice one. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Hope you feel better soon.
Yeah.